Okay, well, I went downtown for my best friend's birthday party, and after dinner we went to Beale Street to have some drinks, and I saw this extremely handsome police officer, but I was kind of nervous. I didn't want to go up and talk to him because he was standing with a group of cops.
I was in my roll call. My lieutenant asked me who wanted to work overtime on Thursday, which is kind of weird, especially for the barbecue fest. So I signed up to work, and me and my partner were on 5-to-1 shifts. So we signed up together, and he happened to know the lieutenant for Beale Street, and he ended up assigning us to 2nd and Beale, and that's where we parked our cars, and that's where we were staying all night. And that while I was staying in there, later on around like 6 or 7 o'clock, or maybe later than that, it was kind of dark, I saw Jessica with her friends. I didn't think she was looking at me, but I was looking at her, and I was like looking at her hair and her eyes and just her dress. I remember everything about her that day. And after that, we just I think I didn't know she was looking at me, but apparently she said that she was. But I was staring at her the whole time, and she walked off, and I don't know where she went. She went down the street. I think she was like 2nd and 3rd. So I told my partner I'll be back, and I started walking down there, and I saw them in between the 2nd and 3rd, and I kept walking. I looked at her, and I smiled, and I kept walking, and I pretended to go talk to one of my friends that I knew from the police, and I stood there and talked for a little bit, and then I was like, let me go back and see if she's still there. So
I just kept staring at him, and I kept talking about him to my friends, and they kept telling me to go and talk to him, but I'm nervous and shy, so I didn't. So he walked away, and I was like, nope, gotta go after him. So I chased after him, and all of a sudden I see him walking back towards me, and I think I'm gonna say something, but I chicken out, and my best friend Katie pushes me into him, literally, and he was like, walk with me, and I kind of got scared. Thought he was gonna arrest me for public drunkenness. However, he then said I had the most beautiful eyes he'd ever seen, and asked for my number and asked if we could get together the next day, and now we are. He asked me out. He wanted to go on an official fancy date, and so I spent hours getting ready, and he didn't show up. He was kind of late, and so finally he called me and said he had overslept, and my nerves kind of calmed down a little bit, and he took me downtown to Automatic Slims. The food wasn't that good, but it didn't matter because he was. And afterwards we went down by the river, and we just sat and walked and talked for hours, and I think I knew then that he was the one.
Tried my best to look good because I wanted to impress her, and so I got ready. I went and picked her up. At the time she was living on Spotswood, and I told her that we're going out. It's gonna be an official date, you know. So I pick her up. I go up to her door and talk to her friends and meet them. Then I see her walking out with a black dress on, and looking pretty as ever, of course, and she's those bright blue eyes. So the whole time we were eating, I was staring at her eyes. And after that, after the dinner, we walked to the little mud island, the little park down there. We walked down there and we sat on some like gravel, like downhill. It was like gravel, and we sat there for a little while and we held hands and talked. And that was our first date.
Okay, well, it was a few days before Valentine's Day and he had to work, so we decided to go on an early date, and he kind of recreated our first date. We went to have a nice dinner at Texas de Brazil, and afterwards he took me back down by the river where we had our first date, and we walked around, and he started to get really mushy and I didn't know what was going on. And I turned around and I saw his best friend, and I was getting a little bit ill because I was like, why did you invite your friend to our Valentine's date?
Ahead of time, before I got the ring, I asked her, like, I told her like I was never going to propose or something like that, and just to make sure that she didn't know what I was doing, and I told her to show me the ring she liked, and she started showing me on Pinterest all the things that she liked in her ring, and I knew that she wanted an oval and all that. So me and Chad, my best man, we met up and we went to different jewelry stores, like trying to find the perfect ring. Then I got her ring, and then it was a plan on how to do it, and I didn't have much time. So I thought about the first date where we went to the Mud Island Park by the river where we sat down, and I was thinking about proposing there. So Chad was supposed to meet us there, and he was running late because first I took her out to Texas de Brazil because it was pre-Valentine. That was a pre-Valentine thing. And after that, after the dinner, the whole time I was texting Chad, and she was wondering what was going on and why I was texting and why I wasn't paying attention to her. And after that, we went, and I was like, well, let's go for a walk downtown. And I had the ring in my pocket, and she could tell there was a bulge there, but she didn't add the two and two together. So she never asked me what it was because I had the keys in the other pocket, and I was waiting on Chaz to do the thing to come down there and take pictures for us. So I would like put it off as possible, like as long as possible, try to like take pictures of her. And then
I saw that he had a video camera, and when I looked back around, Ahsan was on his knee, and I just kind of lost my breath because I wasn't expecting it at all. And he asked me to marry him, and I said yes, of course. And then I said, did you ask my dad?
And then I turned her around and I got on one knee and I asked her, will you marry me? And she was just like laughing / crying kinda. And I asked her the question, she said yes. And Chad was taking the pictures the whole time. He was our cameraman.
Awesome. And it was perfect, beautiful. Best day ever until today.
Jessica, I love you very much. That's the reason I proposed. I knew I wanted to marry you the first time I saw you because I saw those bright blue eyes. They were beautiful, just like you. And I love your beautiful blonde hair. You look amazing in the dress. And you never stop amazing me and how beautiful you look. And I know you work really hard. And I'll be there every single moment trying to motivate you, being there with you, and pushing you through all the stress and always sharing the stress and trying to make you feel better. even though it might not work sometimes. I love you very much, and I'm glad I'm marrying you. And I'm happy and excited right now. I don't know what's gonna happen when we walk down the aisle, and I hope I get my vows right. Don't be mad if I don't.
Thank you so much for coming into my life. You are the best thing ever, and I'm so happy that God blessed me with you. Can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you and to make you as happy as you made me in the past few years. I love you.